Hello everyone, I'm Mo. So I'm making this video to help some of you guys to find the elevation and the subzones of the specimens you guys collected in the field. If you're a first year student, I might have took you out for plants collection, and we visited the PCIT campgrounds, the Woodlot 0007 and Cypress Mountain. First thing you have to do is have Google Earth installed on your PC. So you open Google Earth, wait for it to load, and zoom into wherever it was you collected your specimen. So, for example, the most common place I took the first year students was BCIT. So the BCIT Burnaby campus had loads of shrubs and trees. So normally we parked in Village Drive and we walked over this trail. We went all the way to the BCIT Recreation Center and we came back this way. We came back all the way. We went through this trail. We came out from here and we walked all the way to this trail here. It's a trail for cyclists. We went up there. We found some stinging nettles. So, to find the elevation, all you have to do is to find where you collected your specimens from. For example, there was a shore pine here. So, I'm not gonna know where exactly it is because, of course, the images are not clear. You have to know where it approximately is. So I would say the shore pine was in this area. There was a second shore pine next to it. And I'm gonna hover my cursor on this area. And when I do that, I realize there is a elevation in meters showing on the right bottom of the screen. So if I go on the bottom right of the screen, there it is. That's the elevation. And wherever I point my cursor, it changes. So that's the elevation in meters. If you want to have the elevation in feet, you have to change it. But for your project, you don't need to do that. So you just hover the cursor here and you would say, okay, the elevation is approximately 38 or 36. So, of course, Google Earth cannot be 100% correct because there are trees here and the elevation it measured was disrupted by the presence of the trees. So, and that's why wherever you point, there's like different crazy numbers showing. And the best thing to do is to check for the lowest number that you can find. For example, if I hover on the trail area, the lowest number is 33. So that means the elevation for this bit has to be near 33. It can be less than 33 or it can be more. But if I'm pointing here, the elevation is 59. That's because Google Earth is recording the location from that tree, like the top of the tree. And that's not what we are looking for. I would say 35 might be a good guess for the location of the shore pine. But since I remember the trail went down the hill, I would say it might be 32. Because if the trail is 33 and the slope was downward and the shore point was here, it's either 32 or 31. So that would be my best guess. And then you do the same thing for every other specimen. There was a crabapple here. So 33 was the trail. The crabapple is approximately 33, 34, 32. So 33 is the best guess. You just have to find the best average. So you do the same thing. So there was a Saskatoon here. So the elevation showing is 40 something. That's because of the trees. So it doesn't make sense. But as you remember, when we went down, actually when we went north, we were going down the hill. So the elevation must be below 32, because the last low elevation we have from the trail before it hit the trees is 32. So the Saskatoon was approximately 30, and it goes down. So we had some dogwood here. See, there's so many trees up here. We can't really say the exact elevation of the dogwood, but according to my experience being in the field, the dogwood was nearly 25 meters or 26 meters above the sea level. So we had the Gishon Creek. The Gishon Creek was here. We can see the Gishon Creek is 27 meters above the sea level. So if you collected anything near that area, just add a few meters to 27, and that would be your best guess. It doesn't have to be exactly the right elevation for that plant, because what they're looking for is what sort of elevation the plant grows at. For example, we have the amabilis fir that we saw many of them on Cypress Mountain. So I took some of you guys to this trail on Cypress Mountain. We parked here. We had a small hike. We went up. I think we went up this way. So we saw a lot of different firs: amabilis, grand fir, hemlocks. So when you look here, the elevation is 900 meters above the sea level. So if you want to record anything from this trail, just say 900, or if you went up, you remember we collected it later along the trail, just say 920, 925, 930. It doesn't have to be exactly, let's say 917. It has to be the best approximate elevation. And the reason is, we just want to know that amabilis fir grows on high elevation. It grows on elevation above 900. We don't need to know, oh, it's 923.5. We don't need to know that. We just need to know it's 920, 980. That's the best guess. So, and of course, there's so many trees up here, and these trees are usually 30 meters high. So whatever you see here, just deduct 15 to 30 meters from the elevation you see on the screen. For example, if I'm hovering in this area, the elevation varies between 900 to 925. Now that means one of the trees in this area is 25 meters tall. So I would deduct 25 from 925, and 900 would be the best guess. So that's how easy it is to find the elevation. If you have questions regarding that, just ask me, whether in the comments or ask me in person if you saw me on the campus. Yeah, it shouldn't be very difficult. That's all they want from you. Next up, I'm going to show you how to find the zones for your plants collection. So the best thing I found was going to this website. I'm gonna put this link in the description, and there are PDF files on this website available for the public. So the one you're looking for is this one. the Chilliwack Resource District South Coast region. You click on that. It's going to show you a heavy PDF. Now, you may have trouble loading this PDF because the detail is mind-blowing in this single file. So you're going to have to go ahead and download it. Once you've downloaded that, there we go. You want to open it with your computer's PDF, and every time you do anything on this file, you have to wait for it to load. So it's going to take a long time for loading. If you're on a lower end PC, it's going to take forever, but it will load. So on the top left side, you have a diagram of different colors, different names. So if I zoom on this diagram, no, still too far. Okay, too far. All right, so we can read some of it now. We see the colors here. So these colors are presented on the map, and they each represent a subzone. So in total, we have 14 zones in BC. We don't want the general zone. We want the subzone for the plant collection assignment, because generally we all live in the coastal Western Hemlock area, or some live in the coastal Douglas Fir. However, it would be too general to know that, and they don't want that on your project. What they want to know is the subzone, so that's more detailed about the coastal Western Hemlock zone. So what you're gonna have to do is to take a screenshot of this diagram. I'll do it now. So I took a screenshot. I'm just gonna make it smaller, easier to use. It's giving me some trouble. All right, that should do it. All right, so I'm gonna keep this on the side. Now, what I'm gonna do is to go to the place where I collected my specimens. Right. Now, this is a general zone area. For example, everything that's green here is the coastal Western Hemlock zone. And what's yellow down here is the coastal Douglas Fir zone. Now, we collected everything from the coastal Western Hemlock. Some of you guys may have gone to other parts. You may have gone to the Burns Bog or the Iona Island, whatever. Those places are a different zone. However, if you zoom in closer, you're going to see different shades of green. Okay, so PDF crashed and I had to forcefully end it and start a new one. So it's a common thing. This PDF file is so heavy, PDF can't handle it alone. If it crashed, all you have to do is to just close it and open it again. Basically restore the file if you can. So Let's go back to Cyprus. Now, I remember the place where we parked in Cyprus was approximately here. And the trail we went up to, oh no, it was here. Yep, right here. So the trail we went up to was in this light green area. Now, if you compare those colors to that light green, you realize it's more similar to this one. Yep. So that green is the very wet maritime coastal Western Hemlock. So you don't need to write all of that. You don't need to write coastal Western Hemlock, very wet maritime. That's just too much. All you have to write is this label, the CWH, all capitals, and then BM, those should be lowercase, 2. So for those who collected specimens from Cyprus with me, you need that label for Cypress Mountain. And of course you can say it's coastal Western Hemlock and then put the label in brackets. Write it any way you like, but what's very important is to include the label, the CWHVM2. Now for BCIT, it's very easy. The BCIT campus is in the most general coastal Western Hemlock subzone, which is the dry maritime. So if you compare the colors, we realize this color is similar to the dry maritime, the CWHDM. So BCIT is located here, and it's a dry maritime. And the woodlot was, I guess the woodlot's here. The woodlot was in the green zone, the same as the Burnaby, the BCIT campus. So it's the same green. It's a CWHDM. It's very important to remember which letters to capitalize and which letters to leave as lower cases. If you collected anything from Burnsbach or Iona Island or anywhere else in this area that's yellow, that's the coastal Douglas fir. Now what's important is coastal Douglas fir doesn't have any subzones showing here. It may have subzones in the Vancouver Island area, but in Vancouver area we don't have any subzones for it, and it's usually the moist maritime. So you have to just mention CDFMM. So if you collect anything from there, that's your subzone. If you collected anything from Surrey or Chilliwack or Langley, that would be this grayish green color. So it's CWHXM1, which is dry maritime. Oh, very dry maritime. So that's how simple it is. The only challenge with this thing is running this PDF file. Every time you're going to change where you're looking at, every time you're going to change anything in it, it's going to take forever to load. So especially if you're on lower end PCs, yeah, it's going to take some time. So if you know anyone with a PC with a great CPU, maybe borrow their computer for like half an hour and do your assignments. Yeah, otherwise it's gonna take forever. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or find me at BCIT and just ask me your questions. Thank you, and yeah, I'll see you around.